Okay, today I am going to run through some injury prevention exercises for all workers. So you can do this if you're planning on having a big day sitting or for any type of work you're going to undertake. So we're going to try and do some exercises for our whole body to warm up and prepare our body for the tasks ahead. And that's really how injury prevention works. It's long term. You can get some strength benefits if you're doing strength exercises, but you really want to prepare your body for the day ahead. I will always do strength because I look at it as an investment. If you do a little bit now, a little bit later in the week, then you repeat that regularly and your body becomes more resilient. Whereas if you only do stretching, then it's a bit more short term. So it makes you feel good, and that's really what we want, but add in a little bit of strength for that long-term investment. So first of all, we loosen up, standing with your feet as wide as you like, and you're just rotating. Think about leading with your hips and let your shoulders do what they want to. So you don't need to get too carried away when you're starting off, especially if your body is a bit cold and a little bit stiff. And then sideways, down one leg and down the other leg. Okay, the next one is we want to look after everything from our ankles, knees, hips, back, shoulders, neck, elbows and wrists. We're going to pick on our elbows and wrists. So it's called Stab the Dragon. I don't make up the names. You're reaching and you're twisting. So you try to wriggle your thumb because you're trying to turn your hand down as far as you can and make sure you can see your thumb. So you can feel a little stretch through your elbows and wrists. Really good to prevent against things like tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, those really annoying injuries. And then we're going to do another one that's similar but adding in a neck movement. So this is called Tip the Politician. You turn your hand behind your back, wriggle your thumb because you're trying to look at it again, but you turn your head to look at it, and that's how we involve our neck. So we might do another couple on this side. And then tip the politician over the other shoulder. That's good. And then rolling the shoulders, a classic. And then we'll go backwards. And then my favorite loosen up exercise is you just start shaking one ankle and then the knee, the hip, other leg, ankle, flick it around, knee, onto your hip, and then both hips and your ribs, trying to move your ribs around, shoulders, and those shoulder blades, getting them moving, and then elbows and wrists and your head. My favorite way to loosen up. So, next one. Look at some quite simple strength exercises. What we really want is to strengthen everything we can all at once. So, it's called a prisoner squat. Hands behind your head. Trying to keep your elbows wide apart so they're not coming in front of you. As you're squatting down and keeping your chest up, I find that quite tough, but that's the idea. You don't have to squat as low as you can straight away. Trying to really just ease into it. So trying to keep your chest up, I find is quite tough, but that's the idea. We'll do 2 more of these. Next, bringing elbow to opposite knee as you bring opposite knee to elbow. I think this one is a really good one to pick on our core while you're doing a bit of rotation and standing on one leg. Next one is going to be back to our prisoner position. You just need a little bit of room behind you, stepping backwards. So To look after our knees and our hips, we want to work on our alignment when we're walking and moving and lunging and reaching and doing all those types of activities. So making sure that your knee stays pointing towards your toes, preferably your little toes more than your big toes. So towards the outside of your foot. And then last one in this series is reaching down just below your knee and back up again. So all you're doing is hinging through your hip and then back up. We're adding in, of course, a bit of balance, a bit of control. And then other leg. Have to concentrate for this one. Not much talking. Okay, we're going to go back to our prisoner squats. So you can stand however is comfortable, and those knees have to stay pointing towards their little toes or towards the outside of their feet, not drifting inwards. It's really not a nice squat position. Last one. What was next? These ones. Thanks. A little bit of Jane Fonda. And then prisoner position once again for those reverse lunges. Knee to little toe. Do one more. And then reaching down just below your knee, standing back up again. Just moving through those hips. And then other leg. Try and relax the toes with the leg you're standing on. Try to avoid any clawing, any gripping. All right, one more time through. I'm just going to do it 3 times through and then a little cool down, and then we are ready for the day. So, hands behind your head, keeping your elbows as wide as you can. They will want to come forward as you're going down, so really trying to keep elbows out and your chest up. It's meant to be hard work. You don't have to do that many. All right. Back to our 1980s aerobics. And then back to our prisoner one. Staying open across your chest. Do one more each side. Okay, and this one to finish. See how many you can do in a row without putting that other foot on the ground for balance. Other leg, nearly there. All right, so to start off with our cool down, we're going to do some hip circles. Other way. Next one, reaching down towards the ground, and you're just hanging, just letting your arms hang towards the ground. You're not trying to stretch underneath your toes or anywhere, just letting those arms hang. And you can gently sway one way and then the other. And then coming up and reaching towards the ceiling. And then back down for another little hanging one way, and then over the other side. And then again to the ceiling. And finally, last thing we're going to do is 10 seconds. Close your eyes, have a moment. Okay, onwards.